Today has been one crazy day. So I still pretty much have the grasslands to myself. There's looks like another lady. She's got a teardrop trailer towing behind. She parked a little bit up the road, didn't stop here in the parking lot. She just pulled through real quick. Over at the little windmill, which is actually pretty cool. I got a lot of photography on that. But anyway, obviously I survived the storm. I lost my other pair of sunglasses. I might end up hiking back up there tomorrow. I had decided that I will be staying here tonight, or I'm going to at least attempt to stay here tonight. I should say I don't see any regulations stating I cannot. So this is pretty much my camp spot. I am out in the middle of the Pawnee National Grasslands, and right over at the Pawnee Buttes, the trail. You know, it's a beautiful trail. It's actually not what I expected out here. I think grasslands is flat. No, there's all kinds of hills and buttes, and just all kinds of terrain that's just really worth taking a look at. Over at the Pawnee Butte, all the way down at the end of the trail, the rock formations are they're just amazing. I mean, I don't know much about geology or where all that comes from, but it's really quite amazing. You're not supposed to take any of the rocks. If you find any arrowheads or animal anything like that, you're not supposed to take it. You're supposed to leave it here, preserve the natural habitat, everything. If you do find anything, you are supposed to report it, or you should report it. Find arrowheads and stuff like that. It does state it on some of the signs out there, but that's just so they historically can figure out what happened in the area. A lot of Native Americans were settled here. There's some information about that as well, and it's just a very beautiful place. I mean, right now the storm is finally past. The rain is. I did get caught in the rain, just a little bit. There were still people, coming and going. They turned around almost immediately. So I pretty much had the grasslands all to myself again all day. So yeah, it's pretty nice out here. But yeah, I'm gonna try camping out and see how this works out, and hopefully nobody comes, knocking on the window tonight saying I gotta figure out where I need to go. Anyway, this is gonna turn into a stoner chat. I cleared up a lot of space on my phone. My phone is where I've been doing a lot of my video takes. I don't do much on my camera for the video. I did just take some video on the camera just to kind of test it out and see how it looks. But otherwise, I like doing the pictures and the photography, whatever. But I'm still learning that thing. I gotta do some more research and how to actually use my camera. But I get a lot of good pictures from it. I get some experience with it, and I stick with what I know, and test around, mess around with it a little bit. That windmill, what I was just talking about in the beginning of the video, was kind of one of my test spots. I switched it up all along the boards, taking pictures of the same picture over and over and over and over, just testing out some of the stuff, trying to get more familiar with it. I'm an amateur. I am very new to everything you see, the video editing, the video takes. I've hiked and camped and stuff like that for a long time now, but I've never I've never sat down and recorded myself, talking to a camera. I've never, made a YouTube video. I've never even posted this stuff on Facebook. I put pictures of, the scenery and stuff that I get, not me. I don't put myself on there. Since I started the van dwelling for 2 years now, I've been, trying to put myself out there a little bit more. I'm kind of in a unique position where I changed my lifestyle around, and this is what I chose. This is, part of my healing process. I got a lot of anxiety. I got a lot of depression, things that have been weighing me down my entire life nonstop. I understand people have bumps in the roads and, shit happens, but, it's always been that for me. Shit always happens. Every time I take a step forward, it's like, hey, knock you back a couple more feet. It just, I never get ahead, so this is kind of a healing process, trying to, clear my head. Coming out here is, it's a new experience for me, but it's also very peaceful and a grounding experience, and it's quite enjoyable that I have it, all to myself. I do enjoy that. It's very quiet. With the sun, I mean, it's just about to go over the hills there. It's been in my eyes. Luckily I had these sunglasses because some were up on trail. When the wind really kicked up, when those clouds came through, when it finally, that front of wind just before the clouds came right over top me, it blew me away. It had little fucking whirlwinds of dirt on the trail in front of me. I'm just like, oh Jesus, my hat goes flying, my glasses, I don't even remember that falling off of my face. I was just trying to protect my face from, debris and stuff like that flying around, and making sure there's no, mountain lions sitting up on the rock, ledges over my head. Yeah, you got to be aware out here. And, right then and there, I was aware of a storm. So, but yeah, it's all past now, and I feel good about it. I had no hail issues. I was here at the van thinking if hail comes through, I'm going to be in some serious trouble. I was about to grab, my blankets and sleeping bag and throw it over the windshield, and, throw my windshield wipers over the bottom and close it up in my side windows at the top corners, and hope that it would hold and bounce, the ice off my windshield without having any damage, of course. I got a lot of damage to it. There's still a lot of stuff I got to take care of, and me taking a trip all the way out here is kind of risky for me. I've been having a lot of mechanical failure. I wanted to take a road trip for 3 months, leaving, the first week of June was my plan to just take off and take a 3-month road trip. I was going to head up to Washington State via northern route, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, and into Washington. But a lot of stuff happened. Got into a car accident, fractured a rib. I had just quit my job the day before, the car accident, and then not more than a week later, I have a lot of mechanical issues that suddenly came up, and, ended up having to drop over $700, and, got that taken care of, started putting some money aside again, and then my van is practically dying down the road. And I understand it's probably a simple problem, but it could have been 10 simple problems that would add up, and luckily it just turned out to be a $250 fix. It's more maintenance into it than more than I wanted to really put into it right off the bat. I still got to get tires. I got to get the windshield replaced. Front shocks and struts if I'm going to be going through the mountains the way I want to do it. You know, those are some things I need to take care of. I've taken care of a little at a time. You know, I've already got 215,000 miles on this, and you know, it still runs great. You know, engine is great. Just some of the other stuff along the tracks, it's a little choppy, and it's time. You know, can't just put money into a new vehicle every time something breaks. First van, you know, that was a great van. It was shorter than this one, but a little bit wider. Yeah, I fully gutted that entire van and custom built that entire interior. You know, from the floor to the walls to the ceiling to the kitchen caddy to the storage spaces to the shelving to the cabinets. You know, I had it set. I was building my, you know, my plumbing into it. It was just going to be a gravity fed electrical switch pump for my sink. I did have a sink and, you know, 2 5-gallon jugs I would just work with, and and you know, I was shopping around for my solar panels, my solar setup. That was my final project, my final, you know, that was the grand finale, having my electrical hooked up. Once that was done, 100% converted, livable, but you get that close and that's when, you know, you feel like that pinata getting beaten on nonstop until you just finally break. And my van blew a gasket. It would have cost me more than the van was worth, more than I purchased the van for, and you know, I'd already spent $2,000 into it, converting it, you know, and material cost, labor, time involved, and you know, it was heartbreaking. And I technically didn't even have that van legal yet. I was still in, you know, a battle, you know, through Colorado, California to get a reclaiming on the title, you know, but I had a huge process to go through. You know, learned a lesson about third-party sales. It's something you don't do in Colorado. Just if anybody ever looks at a vehicle no title in Colorado, turn your back and walk away. It ain't worth the hassle. I mean, the best you can do is get a salvage title, but that costs you more money. And from what I gather, you can't resell it. You know, and I would like, you know, have a good vehicle down the road, eventually upgrade, and you know, at least make something off of what I already have. You know, somebody else out there aspiring to do the same things I'm doing, you know, who just doesn't have the time or money to build into it, you know. And but gasket blew. I had to take everything I saved up for. It was another previous 3-month trip. It was going to be a winter Colorado tour trip, not like ski resorts and, you know, stuff like that. I'm talking like Colorado isn't as bad as what people consider. I mean, it's not like some Arctic zone in the wintertime. It's not like that. I mean, we don't get enough precipitation to make a big difference down in Denver area. I mean, I think the last winter we just had, we had 7 to 12 snowstorms. That was like max 3 inches. That's not hardcore winter, guys. Up in the mountains, you get a lot more. Yeah, higher altitudes. My road trip wasn't going to consider a lot of the altitudes. I was going to, you know, get through the passes on the good days. You know, check out the westerns and the eastern side of Colorado and do a grand circle around the entire state. Gasket blew. Took all the savings I had. I bought my current van. Work started slowing down. Didn't have the money coming in. The depression really sank in at that time. I was sitting in this van, fully furnished the way manufactured, and I didn't have money to take care of it. I was low on funds. I was going hungry at that point, and I had to start all over. Always got to start all over, and that's kind of where I'm at now. And I'm trying. It's just a nonstop process that, take a step forward and 2 steps back. But, I started custom building into this one. I got, my bed built. I threw some shelves in, some side shelves. I got back storage space and shelves there for, and that was all inexpensive stuff. I scrapped it. I was working before I went back to landscape construction, which is what I do now. Is I work for a great guy. He's owns his own business. It's, very small company, him, myself, and one other coworker. And, I love the work. I love the job. It's hard, and it's, you get a sense of accomplishment. I don't have to deal with people. So no social anxiety issues there. When I get into the zone with my work, I'm not paying attention what's going around me. That's not me. I'm building a retaining wall. Or irrigation or whatever. Digging holes. When people ask me what is my job and title, I dig in the dirt all day long. That's my job. But before I came back to landscaping, I was working as a trash porter, basically for store properties, strip malls, stuff like that. I would be the ones who come and change the trash, general maintenance, winterizing, stuff like that. I was the one that you would see on the property, taking care of business. If I saw a problem, I reported it or took care of it myself, whatever the issue was. And, I just had to, best guess it or use my professional, But, that was because, I'd worked 2 seasons for my landscape company. The season was slowing down. That's when everything happened with the van. I started losing out on work. The boss decided to go solo, so I was without work the following season. So that's when I started up the porter job. It was good money. I took it and, started saving up and fixing this up a little bit. I didn't fully convert this one because of the money situation, the depression, everything that was going on back, end of winter, into spring. I gave up hope on it. I was just like, you know what? I want to buy an RV. I want to buy a fully converted van, something I don't gotta, hassle and headache with. And so I'm working the porter job, making pretty good money, for very simple-minded work. I mean, I'm not a simple mind. I can't sit there, a desk job punching numbers on a screen. I can't sit there, at a ticket booth taking people's money or whatever. I can't do that. I have to feel like I am getting out there, accomplishing something. Whether it's repetitive or not, cleaning 7 properties, parking lots, and changing trash daily. That's not accomplishment. That's repetitive. Nothing. It was boring. I started getting anxious. I needed to be on the road. I needed to move. It wasn't working out. The money was flowing in. It was great. So I bought an RV It was a classic 1976 Coachman Leprechaun. Engine ran great. Had some external issues. It had a lot of internal tender love and care that needed to be done with it. And I started a process of, fixing it back up, bringing it back to life. My God, I don't know if you can see. I'm going to stop right there for 1 second. I just got to show you outside. And I'll come back to it. So the sun is going down, and it finally went over the hills. So, this is my backyard for tonight. This is my front yard for tonight. This is what I love about the life that I am choosing. I don't have to go home if I don't want to. I can go forward. I don't have to go backwards. I don't have to be stuck. I don't have to be stagnant. My voice is all quivery because it is chilly out here. But anyway, getting back to the RV, I just wanted to show you. This is just gorgeous scenery out here. This is basically my driveway. I got my own bathroom right over there. I could set up my picnic or kitchen there. It's gonna be a chilly night. I went from 105 degrees in Denver Thursday, hundreds throughout Colorado, and see if I can hold this straight. I am shivering right now. It can't even be, 50s right now. It's pretty chilly. Anyway, let me get back in here. Oh man. Bear with me. I gotta warm myself up here. This is gonna be a long video take. I found out if it's too big, I can't put it into a file folder and, do what I normally do. With my phone, I put everything from an area into a folder, transport it to my computer for the video editing and everything, and then delete it off my phone so it's not taking up so much space. Alright, so anyway, I got this RV. I started fixing it up. I, put about, and material cost about $500. I tore out the whole, it was already torn out in the back. I don't know what the previous owner was doing, but they tore everything out of there, started building what looked like a bed, what was eventually going to be just a cheap plywood with legs, with a mattress thrown on top. I don't know exactly what they're going for there, but I tore it all out. I took all the insulation out. I added some more studs in there, some more beams, because there was no wall. The wall was already torn out in the whole back section, which is a space probably the size of a queen or king size area. If, speaking of a bed. So I re-insulated it, doing, I have a special way I like to do it that actually works. It also works on soundproofing it very inexpensively. And, that can be seen in an RV. I might do an RV video, even though I had to cancel the project. I got most of the way done building. I started building the walls into it. I had insulated everything in the back. I started looking at electrical and plumbing and all that kind of stuff. But I have a problem with believing in people, even though I have no trust in people anymore. I bought the RV under the trust that I would have the title. The previous owner was in process of getting the title from the owner before them through the DMV. Okay. I saw the paperwork. The paperwork was legit. They went to the DMV the day before they traded, the money for the RV. All on paper showing that it was in transit. It was already, being fixed. The problem was being fixed. A month goes by. 2 months go by. I'm freaking out. Luckily, they had it registered temporary the day before I bought it, and I had 60 days. After that 60-day period is when I started freaking out. Where's the title? I've been trying to figure it out. Another month goes by. I no longer have legal anything on this. Everything I have is a bill of sale. That's it. Oh man, the sunset is it's gorgeous. I'll come back out here in a second. But anyway, I had to sell it. I took a big hit, sold it for $1,000. I paid $1,500. I put $500 into, the interior work, another $500 into tow charges and some maintenance for the fuel pump. So yeah, I lost about $1,500 out of the deal. It set me back. It wasn't working out. I decided I'm going to have to stick with the van and keep going with that. And, that is when everything hit the fan. I quit my job. I sold the RV the day after, or the day of. I quit my job. And the day after the car accident. And then couldn't have been more than a week, the maintenance. I mean, it's just, I try to pay attention to signs, I guess you could say. The universe speaks. I mean, it speaks to us, through us, for us. I mean, it's our job, our place in life to try to hear and listen. And to me, I kind of take it as a sign that I wasn't ready. I wasn't meant to go at that particular time. Something worse could have happened. I have no idea. I don't know what the purpose is, if there is any purpose at all. I mean, we'll talk a little bit later. I'm just gonna do a little pan. You guys gotta see this. I'm gonna switch it around. That's not how you switch it around. I don't know that I can switch it around while it's recording. I want to come out here. And I'm just going to do a little pan of everything. And get my ugly mug in the picture. I mean, it's about my life, right? So, anyway, this is... The coloration's pretty detailed on my phone, my camera. I mean, this is actuality what it looks like out here. I mean, maybe a little bit more blue to the sky, but the pinks and colors and all that, I mean, it's just gorgeous out here. I mean, just that scene alone. There's all the buttes. I walked all the way down to that third one. Right over here. I mean, all the way around and down. And it's a beautiful trail. I mean, you
cows got it made. Those guys over there, I mean, they're living the life. This is their home. This is what they see every single day of their life, you know. I don't know how long that is. I don't know. Free range.